Part 1, Episode 1, A Charming Collision 1. Setting the scene in the neon-lit metropolis of Shanghai, the screen opens on bustling streets. Narrative unfolds showing Yulin's daily life, introduction to corporate intrigue, etc. 2. Main characters: Li Yulin, a bright-eyed junior editorial assistant whose ambition outweighs her means. Zheng Kai, the enigmatic heir of Kai Publishing, burdened by family expectations and a sharp business mind. Detailed portrayals of their backgrounds and personal arcs. 3. Inciting incident. Yulin's big coffee order mistake with Kai leads to their first terse but memorable exchange. The stakes, her boss's wrath, his amused indifference, a personal and professional spark ignites. 4. Emotional undercurrents. Yulin's insecurities around class and status, Kai's weariness at being underestimated. Analysis. The writers craft tension through silent beats and guarded glances. 5. Subplots introduced: Yulin's secret side gig, reviewing romance novels under a pen name. Kai's hidden connection to that same novel series. This thread sets up a slow burn mystery. 6. Scene-by-scene recap. Opening montage of Yulin's morning commute. Editorial meeting. Yulin overlooked, rebuked publicly. The coffee shop bump. Their iconic meet-cute. Flashback to Kai's childhood introduction. Evening at home. Yulin's exhausted reflection, then she logs into her writer account. Each beat described with tone, imagery, emotional depth. 7. Dialogue highlights a key exchange in the coffee shop. Yulin, apologetic: I didn't mean to spill. Kai, cool, but you did. And now my coffee's ruined. Such a shame. Analysis. This clipped interaction reveals Kai's control and Yulin's flustered sincerity. 8. Production notes and style. Cinematography. Close-up lingering shots of the coffee's creamer, Yulin's trembling hand, visual metaphors for tension. Music. Slow piano underscores to emphasize emotional edges in otherwise mundane scenes. 9. Themes: emerging class disparity, manifest in casual arrogance, financial privileges, identity and masks. Both Yulin and Kai hide parts of themselves. Fate versus coincidence. Their bump feel like destiny preparing to strike. 10. Questions and foreshadowing. Why does Kai stay after Yulin walks off? What secret past connects Kai to the pen name's romance novels? Will Yulin's mistake cost her the job or unexpectedly open new doors? Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 2, The Poison Beneath the Surface. 1. Episode 2 recap. A twist of fate. After their awkward encounter, Li Yulin tries to avoid Zheng Kai at all costs. But fate has other plans. In a shocking moment, the editor-in-chief falls sick during a presentation meeting, and Zheng Kai is asked to step in as the acting CEO temporarily. Yulin, unaware of this, speaks up in the meeting, sharing a bold idea about revitalizing the company's struggling romance novel line. Her words impress the room. And Zheng Kai. Their professional paths are now tied closer than ever. 2. Character growth. Li Yulin begins to believe in herself after Kai praises her idea in front of others. Faces jealousy from her colleague, Shinf, who thinks Yulin is using charm to get ahead. Zheng Kai, though distant, he starts to watch Yulin more closely. His cold mask begins to crack when he overhears Yulin defending her dream of becoming a writer. 3. Workplace tension builds. Yulin is promoted to assistant project lead on a new romantic fantasy series, a project Kai secretly greenlit because of her pitch. This makes Shin furious. She tries to sabotage Yulin by switching files, leading to an embarrassing mistake during an important internal pitch meeting. But instead of yelling, Kai calmly asks Yulin to stay back after the meeting. His words surprise her. Kai, you'll make more mistakes. Just make them while growing. It's the first time someone in power has spoken to her with such patience. 4. Hidden truths begin to unfold. In a mysterious scene, Zheng Kai is shown reading an anonymous romance manuscript late at night, the same story Yulin writes under her pseudonym Lunafire. He doesn't know the author's identity, but he's deeply moved by it. Kai, to himself, whoever Luna is. She understands pain. Meanwhile, Yulin's best friend Xiaoqi warns her not to get too close to Kai. She believes something is off about his family, rumors of betrayal, manipulation, and a hidden past involving his stepbrother. 5. A new antagonist appears. Enter Liang Zemin, Kai's cunning stepbrother. Smooth, charming, and clearly manipulative, he returns from studying abroad and takes an interest in both the company and Yulin. Zemin and Kai have an uncomfortable confrontation at a board meeting. Zemin, still chasing ghosts. Brother. Kai, at least I don't pretend to be something I'm not. The tension is personal, not just professional. Something dark happened between them years ago. 6. Romance and restraint. One rainy evening, Yulin gets stuck in the office late. She finds Kai quietly working alone. When she offers to make tea, he surprisingly accepts. There's a soft silence as they sit together. He asks her, Kai, why did you choose this job? Yulin, because stories are the only place where endings can be rewritten. He watches her for a long time. There's something in her sadness that reminds him of his own. 7. Parallel storylines. Yulin's story as Lunafire starts gaining popularity online. She's invited to a writers' conference, but she's scared to reveal her identity. Meanwhile, Zemin begins courting Yulin's trust, subtly undermining Kai. 8. Symbolism and themes. Rain, cleansing, vulnerability, transformation. Tea, warmth amid distance. Books, both truth and disguise. 9. Foreshadowing moments. A brief flashback shows young Kai watching his mother cry beside a poison bottle. In another scene, Zemin finds a hidden letter in their father's study marked, to be opened if Zheng betrays you, who poisoned the family. Why does Kai seem guilty? What is the truth about their inheritance? 10. Cliffhanger ending. The episode ends with Kai accidentally catching a glimpse of Yulin's open laptop during a late-night power outage. The screen shows a draft titled, The CEO's Poisoned Love. He's stunned. Kai whispers, Lunafire. Fade to black. 1. The secret revealed. Almost. Zheng Kai is shaken after seeing the title of Yulin's novel draft, The CEO's Poisoned Love. He suspects she's Lunafire, the anonymous author whose work has captivated him for months. But instead of confronting her, Kai keeps silent, choosing instead to observe. He wonders, did she base the cold CEO in her book on him? At the same time, Yulin has no idea her secret was nearly exposed. She is busy preparing for a huge company-wide pitch meeting, with Kai as her judge. 2. Trust and test. Kai surprises everyone by assigning Yulin to lead a major campaign for a new fantasy romance novel. The board is skeptical. Shin rolls her eyes. Even Yulin hesitates. Yulin, nervous, why me? Kai, serious, because you see what others don't. This marks the beginning of a subtle shift in their relationship, from challenge to mentorship, with sparks of something more. 3. Enter the poison. Zemin secretly starts pulling strings. He learns about Yulin's pen name through a hacker contact and blackmails one of Yulin's friends to keep quiet. He confronts Yulin at a dinner party thrown by the company. Under the guise of flirtation, he whispers, Zemin, you should be careful. Words can be poison if read by the wrong person. Yulin is rattled. She now knows someone might have discovered her secret identity. 4. The past returns. In a flashback sequence, we see a younger Kai watching his mother fall mysteriously ill after drinking tea prepared by someone unseen. Her final words, Mother, weakly, protect your name. And don't trust blood. Kai's guilt over her death has shaped everything he does. His coldness, his obsession with control, his fear of betrayal. Yulin reminds him of the purity he once believed in. 5. Writing as healing. Yulin writes furiously every night. Her character, Mr. K, becomes more vulnerable, more real. She is unknowingly writing about Kai, and readers online begin to notice the change. Her story is trending. Her fanbase grows. But the closer the real Kai gets to her, the more danger she's in of being exposed. 6. A dangerous game begins. Zemin offers Yulin a deal. Work with him to bring new business into the company, and he'll protect her secret. She refuses, fiercely. Yulin, I'd rather be ruined than be your puppet. Zemin smirks, impressed but not deterred. Meanwhile, Kai begins to quietly investigate Zemin, suspecting he's planning a corporate betrayal. 7. Tension turns to tenderness. One late night, Yulin and Kai end up stuck in the office during a city-wide power outage. No phones. No lights. Just the two of them, and years of pain. They talk honestly for the first time. Yulin, do you ever wish you weren't who you are? Kai, softly, every day. Their hands accidentally brush. He doesn't pull away. The tension lingers, thick with emotion. 8. Complications arise. Shin finds an early draft of Yulin's novel in the company printer. Realizing its value and content, she begins spreading rumors that Yulin is writing a fantasy fan fiction about Kai. Embarrassed, Yulin tries to explain, but the damage is done. Kai hears the whispers. The board begins to question her professionalism. Yulin considers quitting, but Kai stops her. Kai, let them talk. I trust you. Don't run from this. 9. The letter in the safe. Kai finds an old letter in his late father's safe, written by his mother before her death. In it, she warns him, Liang Zemin was not your brother's name when he was born. There is more poison in this family than in any bottle. Kai is stunned. Did his stepbrother steal an identity? Is he even truly family? He begins to unravel the past, and realizes Yulin may unknowingly be the key to exposing the truth. 10. Cliffhanger ending. At the end of the episode, Zemin confronts Kai at a board dinner and publicly accuses him of favoritism toward Yulin, hinting at unprofessional behavior. Kai stands up, walks to the center of the room, and calmly says, Kai, if telling the truth is unprofessional, then let me be unprofessional. He turns toward Yulin, looks straight into her eyes, and says, Kai, I read your story. Yulin gasps. Silence falls. Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 4, Hearts on the Edge 1. The aftermath of the revelation. The room is frozen. Yulin's face turns pale as Kai announces in front of everyone, Kai, I read your story. She stumbles for words, trying to process what just happened. Some board members whisper. Shin smirks. Zemin watches with silent interest. Yulin leaves the room, overwhelmed. She thinks Kai will fire her. But instead, he follows her to the rooftop. Kai, quietly, you wrote it beautifully. I only wish I had met the man in your story before I became the one I am now. Yulin realizes Kai isn't angry. He's moved. 2. A fragile understanding. They begin a quiet friendship filled with late-night conversations, shared silences, and lingering looks. They never talk directly about her story again, but both know the connection has deepened. Meanwhile, the company buzzes with rumors, fueled by Shinf. She leaks partial drafts of Yulin's story online, claiming it's Kai's unauthorized biography. 3. The first public scandal. A viral article titled CEO Romance Fantasy or Reality explodes online. The company's stock dips. Investors panic. Yulin is suspended pending investigation. Her world crumbles overnight. Kai calls a press conference and shocks everyone by saying, Kai, we don't silence creativity. We protect it. Luna Fire will continue to write. He publicly defends Yulin's right to write, even if it's about someone like him. But Zemin isn't done yet. 4. Betrayal from within. Zemin forges documents to frame Yulin for leaking confidential author contracts. He presents them to the board. Kai knows it's a lie, but the evidence is convincing. His hands are tied. Yulin is officially fired. Heartbroken and humiliated, she leaves the office with a single cardboard box and a shattered spirit. Yulin, to herself, I told stories to escape pain. Now my story has become the pain. 5. Kai's breaking point. For the first time, Kai confronts Zemin in private. No masks, no civility. Kai, what do you want from me? Zemin, everything you have. Everything you love. Just like you took everything from me. This confirms what Kai feared. Zemin's hatred stems from something deeper than jealousy. Zemin then drops a bombshell. You're not our father's only heir. 6. Yulin's hidden past. Meanwhile, Yulin returns home to the small countryside town she grew up in. Her mother tries to comfort her, but Yulin feels lost. In her childhood bedroom, she opens an old box and finds a letter from her late father, who once worked in a pharmaceutical company. The letter talks about Project Cinta Beracun, a secret formula linked to Kai's family company. Could her father's death have something to do with the poison that killed Kai's mother? 7. The puzzle pieces connect. Yulin starts researching. She finds fragments of old reports, and discovers that the Kai family company once ran trials of an experimental nerve sedative, later deemed toxic. This sedative had a name, Beracun C. Could this be the real poison that ruined both her and Kai's lives? 8. Reunited by pain, Yulin returns to Shanghai with her research. She secretly meets with Kai. Yulin, our stories were written long before we met. But maybe we can rewrite the ending. She shows him the papers. Kai is shaken. His mother's death might not have been suicide or a personal betrayal. It may have been corporate cover-up. 9. Secret alliance. Kai and Yulin begin working together in secret. They use Yulin's pen name and online popularity to share the truth with the world through fiction, coded inside her next novel chapters. The readers don't realize they're reading hidden evidence about a real scandal, but Zemin does. 10. Cliffhanger ending. Zemin confronts Kai in a dark parking garage. Zemin, you think she'll save you? You're both poisoned by hope. Suddenly, someone fires a gun. The screen cuts to black. We don't know who got shot. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 5, When Truth Burns 1. The aftershock of the gunshot. The screen fades in from black. Sirens wail. Blood pools on the ground. But it's not Kai who's shot. It's Zemin. Kai stands over him, breathing heavily, the gun kicked far from both of them. A security guard had intervened just in time and fired at Zemin when he pulled a hidden blade. Zemin is rushed to the hospital. His condition, critical. But he's alive. 2. Kai under fire. Zemin's allies on the company board spin the story. News spreads that Kai was behind the attempted murder of his stepbrother. A temporary CEO is appointed. Kai is placed under investigation. Yulin, now back in the shadows, worries for his safety. But Kai tells her, Kai, if the world burns, I'll still find you in the ashes. 3. The truth in the story. Yulin continues releasing new chapters of her novel, weaving in more clues about Project Cinta Beracun. Online readers begin to catch on. Forums explode with theories that the story reflects a real scandal. One fan sends her a message. I work at Kai Pharmaceuticals. I've seen the old files. You're telling the truth, aren't you? This whistleblower sends her evidence, a digital copy of an old clinical report showing the cover-up of toxic trials, connected to the formula that killed Kai's mother and, possibly, Yulin's father. 4. Back into the fire. Yulin risks everything by visiting the hospital where Zemin is being treated. She sneaks into his room with a recorder hidden in her bag. Pretending to seek peace, she asks, Yulin, why did you hate Kai so much? Zemin, groggy but proud, whispers, because I was supposed to be the real heir. But that poison made me a bastard in their eyes. She now has a partial confession, but the recorder is stolen by a nurse loyal to Zemin before she escapes. 5. The broken family. Kai visits his father, a once powerful but now ailing man, seeking the truth. Kai, did you choose me to inherit because I was loyal? Or because you feared him? His father, frail and full of guilt, hands him a sealed letter. In it, Kai's mother explains that she found out about the company's deadly formula, and was silenced. The company killed her to protect its name. 6. Yulin faces her past. While helping Kai, Yulin also uncovers a heartbreaking truth. Her father was once an intern at Kai Pharmaceuticals. He tried to expose the truth in the early stages, but his whistleblower report vanished, and he died in a mysterious car crash days later. Her mother had kept this hidden to protect her. Now, Yulin realizes, their lives have always been linked by the poison of greed. 7. Romance reignites. In the quiet of Kai's old family villa, Yulin and Kai finally let down their walls. They talk about their childhoods, their losses, and their fear of love. Kai, you were the first person to ever write about me as if I was human. Yulin, because I saw the parts of you were trying to kill. They kiss. It's not flashy, it's soft, slow, filled with pain and understanding. 8. Revenge or justice? Kai and Yulin must decide, do they want revenge or justice? They choose the latter. Yulin's next chapter is her most powerful yet. It names names. It points to real crimes. It ends with the line, and so, the poison spread. Not just through blood, but through silence. The internet erupts. News agencies pick up the story. A government investigation is launched. 9. The final blow: Zemin awakens in the hospital and finds himself surrounded by police. He's arrested for attempted murder and obstruction of justice. Shinf is also caught when records show her part in leaking author contracts and framing Yulin. The company body is disbanded. Kai is reinstated, only this time as a reformer, not an heir. 10. Cliffhanger ending at a quiet cafe. Yulin types the final line of her book. Kai sits across from her. Yulin, are you sure you're ready for everyone to read the truth? Kai, let them. The truth never poisoned anyone. Silence did. She clicks publish. But as the screen fades, a mysterious figure watches her from a nearby car, holding a copy of her book with the real project Cinta Beracun file slipped inside. The past may be exposed, but it's not finished with them yet. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 6, Shadows That Speak 1. Echoes of the truth. Yulin's final chapter goes viral. International media covers the case. The company, now rebranded as Kai Biopharma, issues a public apology for past experimentation and misuse of chemical trials. A memorial is built for those who died, including Kai's mother and Yulin's father. But peace is short-lived. As Yulin celebrates the book's success in a quiet cafe, a flash drive is slipped into her bag by an unknown person. It contains video footage from 20 years ago, a lab room, her father begging someone off camera not to continue a secret project. A voice responds, "If you say a word, your daughter dies." 2. The real mastermind emerges. Zemin may have fallen, but the person behind Project Cinta Beracun still lives. The flash drive contains a name, Dr. Kiao Ming, a former lead chemist for the Kai family's research division. Dr. Kiao was quietly paid off and disappeared when the poisoning scandal began. Rumors say he went underground, funded by black market pharmaceutical traders. Kai and Yulin realize the poison isn't just a metaphor anymore, it's still being made and sold. 3. Love under pressure. With danger rising again, Kai becomes more protective. Yulin, however, wants to fight. "Yulin, we can't write stories anymore. We have to live them." They argue for the first time. Kai fears losing her. Yulin fears losing her voice. Their bond is strong, but stress creates cracks. 4. A secret ally appears. Kai is approached by Jiang, an independent journalist who's been following Project Cinta Beracun for a decade. He claims to have met Yulin's father before his death. Jiang tells them that Dr. Kiao Ming is alive and hiding under a new identity in a remote mountain town near Yunnan. 5. The journey begins. Kai and Yulin travel to Yunnan. On the surface, the town is peaceful: old temples, quiet hills, and villagers who don't speak easily to strangers. But hidden beneath is a warehouse guarded by armed men. Through stealth and help from Jiang, they sneak in, and what they find is shocking: rows of synthetic chemicals, lab notes, and a vial labeled Beracun X, a new version of the original poison. 6. Captured. Their investigation is cut short when they're caught. Dr. Kiao Ming appears, calm, unbothered, much older but still terrifyingly composed. "Kiao, you think the poison was the crime? It wasn't. The real poison was the belief that some lives matter more than others." He reveals a twisted ideology, that his work was meant to rebalance the social hierarchy, targeting elites through their own medical systems. 7. Escape and revelation. Just before they're injected with the new poison, Jiang creates a diversion. He sets fire to a section of the lab. Amid the chaos, Kai and Yulin escape with one vial in Kiao Ming's ledger, proof of everything. But Jiang is caught. His fate unknown. 8. Emotional aftermath. Back in Shanghai, Kai and Yulin are scarred but alive. Yulin breaks down, not just from fear, but from guilt. "Yulin, I wanted to tell stories, not carry bodies." Kai comforts her. Their love, tested in fire, grows stronger. They vow to end this once and for all. 9. Going public again using the ledger. Yulin writes a new book, Cinta Beracun, The Real Ending. But this time, it's not fictional. It names Kiao Ming. It reveals locations, dates, and targets. It even includes the vial number that ties it back to old Kai Biopharma labs. It's released not as a novel, but as a non-fiction expose. 10. Cliffhanger ending. A package arrives at Yulin's door. No name, no return address. Inside, a single note that reads, "The poison was never in the bottle." It's in the people you trust. The camera pans to Kai, reading the note over her shoulder. Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 7, The Poison Within 1. The note and the doubt. The cryptic note, the poison was never in the bottle. It's in the people you trust, sends a chill through Yulin and Kai. At first, they suspect Kiao Ming is playing mind games. But over the next few days, they notice strange things. Someone tries to hack into Yulin's email. The vial of Beracun they brought back disappears. Surveillance footage from their lab break-in goes missing from the press archives. Someone close to them is feeding information to the enemy. 2. Kai's uncle. A shocking reveal. Kai begins investigating board members from his father's era. He finds one man who had close ties to Kiao Ming, his uncle, Zheng Ruhao. Kai confronts him. Kai, did you know what Kiao was doing? Ruhao, no. I funded it. Ruhao reveals he believed the experiments would save the company. Sacrifices were necessary. Ruhao, you don't build an empire with clean hands. Your father knew that too. Kai is devastated. His family legacy is soaked in blood and betrayal. 3. Yulin's family turns against her. Meanwhile, Yulin's mother, terrified by the media attention and threats, begs her to stop writing. Mother, I lost your father to this. I won't lose you too. Yulin is torn. For the first time, she questions whether exposing the truth is worth the cost. Kai urges her to pause. Kai, let's disappear for a while. Just us. But she says no. Her voice, her story, are all she has left. 4. A friend's betrayal. Just when Yulin prepares to release the final chapter of her expose, she discovers the truth. Her best friend Xiaoqi was the mole. Xiaoqi, threatened and bribed by Kiao's remaining network, gave them access to her computer and location. Xiaoqi, in tears, they said they'd kill my brother. Yulin, crushed, can't find the strength to hate her, but she breaks off their friendship. 5. Kai's internal battle. Kai begins isolating himself. He starts questioning if he, too, has become poisoned by his ambition and family name. He looks at himself in the mirror and says, maybe I was the villain all along. Yulin pulls him back. Yulin, you're not perfect, Kai. But you never ran away. That's what makes you human. 6. A final attack. Of fire breaks out in Yulin's apartment. Arson. She and Kai barely escape. All her evidence, notes, and manuscripts, gone. The police investigate, but nothing sticks. Yulin's name is now on every threat list in the underworld of pharma cartels. Still, she won't stop. 7. The last chapter, Digital Resurrection. Kai helps Yulin set up an anonymous digital blog. She begins to release her story again, piece by piece, reaching millions. But this time, she embeds video, audio clips, and data charts. It's not just words now, it's undeniable proof. She titles it, Cinta Beracun, The Poison We Chose. The world starts listening. Public pressure mounts. Governments issue arrest warrants. Pharma executives flee. 8. The love that survives through the storm. Kai and Yulin finally have a moment of peace on a hilltop outside Shanghai. They talk about their dreams, about living a life without fear. Yulin, do you still see a future with me? Kai, smiling softly, you are the future. They kiss. Not just out of love, but survival. They've made it through fire, lies, and loss. 9. The return of a ghost. But just when they think the worst is over, a video surfaces. It's from Dr. Kiao Ming. A pre-recorded message. You took everything from me. But the final dose has already been delivered. You just don't know where it is. The video ends with an image of a familiar face. Kai's mother, alive. 10. Cliffhanger ending. Yulin clutches Kai's arm as they rewatch the video. In the background of the grainy footage, there's a woman, older now, but unmistakably his mother. Kai whispers, she didn't die. The poison wasn't death. It was erasure. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 8, The Woman Who Was Erased. 1. The ghost in the footage. The reappearance of Kai's mother in Kiao Ming's cryptic video sends shockwaves through both Kai and Yulin. Kai watches the clip frame by frame, heart pounding. Though the woman in the background appears older, her mannerisms, the way she tilts her head, everything matches his memories. Kai, softly, she's alive. They didn't kill her. They erased her. Yulin helps enhance the video with digital forensics. They isolate the background noise, A temple bell. A rare one, only found in Chengdu's northern monasteries. 2. A journey to Chengdu. Kai and Yulin travel to Chengdu, disguised and cautious. The atmosphere is thick with tension. The monastery is peaceful on the surface, but behind its walls, secrets wait to breathe again. They meet Abbess Lian, an elderly woman who recognizes Kai's mother by her original name, Zheng Lianhua. Abbess, she came to us broken. Not in body, but in memory. Kai is stunned. His mother survived, but had no memory of him, or what happened. 3. The truth of her disappearance. With gentle care, they meet Lianhua in the monastery garden. She is quiet, kind, and calm. But when she sees Kai, she trembles. Lianhua, your eyes. They remind me of someone I lost. Through emotional conversations, bits of her memory start returning. She remembers fear, syringes, Kiao Ming, and being told she was dying. Lianhua, crying, they told me my son was dead. Yulin realizes the poison didn't kill her, it suppressed her mind. She was a test subject for Beracun Z, a memory-altering compound. 4. The last trial. Back in Shanghai, news explodes. An anonymous source leaks that the government has reopened the case against Kai Biopharma's former executives. Arrests begin. Files are unsealed. The mastermind, Dr. Kiao Ming, remains in hiding, but all evidence now points to a single horrifying plan, Project Zero, a final stage trial that used living subjects to test emotional and psychological suppression through chemical dosing. 5. A new threat rises. As Yulin prepares to publish the final report with Kai, she receives a terrifying warning: someone close to her has been infected with Beracun X2, a deadlier, faster-acting version. If she doesn't stay silent, someone will die. At first, she suspects it's her mother. But then she finds out it's Kai. 6. Kai's confession. One night, Kai collapses. His hands tremble, and his memory slips for a moment. Blood tests confirm it, the virus is in his system. Kai, weakly, they knew we'd come for them. This was their backup plan. Yulin is shattered. Every fight they've survived could end here. 7. Racing for the cure. Yulin partners with Jiang's team, the journalist who had helped them before and narrowly escaped death. They track down one of Kiao Ming's former assistants, Dr. Xu Wei, who now works for an underground clinic. Xu confesses there is an antidote, but it must be tailored to the subject's DNA within 5 days or the damage becomes irreversible. 8. Love at the edge. While the team works, Kai and Yulin retreat to a quiet seaside cabin. They spend what may be their last days together, not in panic, but in peace. They laugh, cook together, hold each other in silence. Kai, if I forget you, remind me who I am. Yulin, through tears, you're the man who rewrote poison into poetry. 9. The cure arrives. In a race against time, Yulin delivers the customized antidote. Kai is fading fast, but the injection begins to work. His heartbeat stabilizes. His eyes open. He whispers her name. Kai, Yulin. We won. 10. Cliffhanger ending. But just as Yulin breathes in relief, a news alert buzzes on her phone. Kiao Ming has resurfaced. Not in hiding. Not in fear. But giving a televised interview. On a private island. He says, "You all think the story is over. But I never wrote the ending." Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 9, The Final Dose 1. Kiao Ming returns. Live on air. The world freezes as Kiao Ming appears on live broadcast from a luxury compound on a private island in the South China Sea. His appearance is smug, composed, and deeply unsettling. Kiao Ming, they called me a criminal. But I'm evolution. You destroyed my work. But now I've perfected it. He introduces his new creation, Beracun V, a viral compound that, he claims, will reset emotional dependency in humans, removing fear, love, guilt. Kiao Ming, imagine a world free from betrayal. Because no one will ever feel attachment again. 2. The countdown begins. International authorities confirm the island Kiao is on has a lab equipped for mass distribution. Satellite images reveal several drones are being prepared for a global spread of Beracun V via the air. Yulin and Kai realize, Kiao isn't just trying to escape justice, He's trying to erase humanity itself, and he plans to launch in 72 hours. 3. Building the team. Kai reaches out to former allies, Jiang, the journalist, Dr. Xu Wei, the defector scientist, Abbas Lian, who has access to spiritual documents about Kiao's early research. Even Xiao Qi, Yulin's former friend, returns, seeking redemption. Together, they form a small team to stop Kiao's final plan. 4. Love in the middle of war. Despite the mission ahead, Kai and Yulin take a quiet night on the rooftop of their safe house. Yulin, if we die tomorrow. Kai, we won't. But if we do, I'm glad it's with you. They hold hands under the stars, finally understanding that their love, though born of trauma, is real and earned. 5. The infiltration plan. Using a cargo ship as cover, the team sails toward Kiao's island. Yulin disguises herself as a foreign pharmaceutical technician, while Kai and Jiang sneak in through an old waterway tunnel under the lab compound. Every step is dangerous. They pass labs filled with abandoned test subjects, emotional zombies with blank faces, victims of earlier versions of Beracun V. Yulin nearly breaks down, but Kai steadies her. Kai, this is why we're here. To make sure no one else ends up like them. 6. Face to face with the devil. Yulin reaches Kiao's main chamber first. He's waiting for her, unshaken. Kiao Ming, do you know why you fascinate me, Yulin? You feel everything. It's your greatest flaw. Yulin, it's what makes me human. Just then, Kai arrives behind her. Guns are drawn. Kiao activates a countdown timer on the drone launch control panel, 10 minutes to global release. 7. The final choice. Kiao offers Kai a horrifying deal: inject Yulin with Beracun V now, and he'll cancel the launch. Let her live, empty and forgetful, but safe. Yulin looks at Kai and nods. Yulin, do it. If it saves millions. Kai lifts the injector, but instead turns it on Kiao. Kai, you don't get to decide what being human means. He injects Kiao with Beracun V. Kiao screams, stumbles back, his mind beginning to erase itself. 8. The system fails. Yulin rushes to the control panel. But the timer won't stop. With just 20 seconds left, Jiang hacks into the system and reroutes the drones to crash into the sea. Boom. One by one, the drone signals vanish from the radar. 9. Collapse and rescue. The island systems explode. Fire rips through the facility. Yulin is knocked unconscious. Kai carries her through smoke and falling steel. Outside, their ship awaits. They escape just as the compound collapses into flames behind them. Kiao Ming vanishes in the inferno, whether dead or alive, no one knows. 10. Cliffhanger. Ending. Back in Shanghai, Yulin publishes the final entry in her blog. He tried to erase the world's emotions. But in the end, it was his own soul that vanished. Just as she closes her laptop, a package arrives at the door. No name. Inside, a vial labeled Beracun Gnomes. And note, final prototype. Property of QM for your eyes only. Yulin stares at it, heart pounding. Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 10, The Cure of Memory 1. The final vial. Yulin stares at the vial labeled Beracun Gnomes. The note claims it's the final prototype, Kiao Ming's last work. Note, use it or destroy it. Either way, this ends with you. She has a choice. The formula could be the key to understanding, or another weapon. She hides it away, for now. 2. The world responds after Kiao Ming's defeat. The story of Cinta Beracun goes global. Yulin's blog is translated into dozens of languages. Governments hold tribunals against illegal biotech industries. Survivors of past trials speak out. The world begins to listen. Yulin and Kai are invited to conferences, interviews, even offered book deals. But they turn most of it down. Kai, we don't want to be icons. Just people. 3. Reunion with his mother. In a tearful scene, Kai brings his recovered mother, Lianhua, to his old family home. Her memory continues to return in fragments. She walks the garden and remembers him as a child. Lianhua, smiling, you planted those roses for me. Kai, softly, and I'll never stop. Their broken bond begins to mend. 4. Yulin's final story. Instead of continuing the expose, Yulin starts writing again, a new novel, this time fictional, but inspired by truth. She titles it, The Girl Who Survived Poison. It's a story of grief, betrayal, healing, and love. 5. Proposal by letter K. Ever the quiet romantic, leaves a handwritten letter in her journal one morning. You taught me to feel again, to believe again. If you'll walk with me, not away from the past, but into the future, I'd like to write the next chapter together. Will you marry me? Yulin cries reading it. She runs to him, hugs him tightly, and whispers, Yulin, yes. 6. Wedding in the mountains. Months later, they marry in a small private ceremony surrounded by friends, nature, and peace. Jiangil gives a toast. Xiao Qi, now forgiven, stands as Yulin's maid of honor. Lianhua holds her son's hand, proud. The abbess blesses them both. Yulin, we survived poison. We bloomed anyway. 7. The vial returns on their honeymoon. Yulin finds the vial again in her luggage. She debates, should it be destroyed, studied, or preserved? She takes it to a remote cliff and tosses it into the ocean. Yulin, let this be the last drop the world ever sees. The waves crash. The bottle vanishes beneath the sea. 8. Full circle ending back in Shanghai, a young girl reads Yulin's book in a bookstore. She smiles, closes it, and says to her mother, Girl, I want to write stories that help people, too. Across the street, Kai and Yulin walk hand in hand. They've let go of their past, but carry its lessons with pride. 9. Final narration, voiceover by Yulin. Poison doesn't always come in bottles. Sometimes, it's silence. Sometimes, it's power. But love, the real kind, that's the cure. Not because it's perfect, but because it survives. 10. Closing shot. A slow zoom out of the couple walking through a park, with cherry blossoms falling gently around them. The camera tilts to the sky, soft, blue, peaceful. Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 11. The World After the Storm 1. Life After the Truth. Months after Qiao Ming's final downfall, the world has begun to heal, but not forget. Yulin's story inspired millions. A new movement called Right to Heal has begun, empowering survivors of trauma to share their stories anonymously online. The movement gains global momentum. Kai and Yulin remain humble figures in this change. They don't lead the movement, they support it from behind the scenes. Yulin, our story was just the beginning. The world has many voices now. 2. Rebuilding Kai Biopharma. Under new leadership, Kai Biopharma is restructured into a medical charity foundation. All profits now go toward ethical medicine and trauma care research. Kai is offered the chance to return as chairman, but he declines. Kai, I'd rather rebuild lives than lead a company. Instead, he joins a global research council to advise against pharmaceutical abuse. 3. The unexpected letter. One day, Yulin receives a letter marked QM Estate. Inside there's a legal notice. Qiao Ming left a portion of his estate to Yulin, including an encrypted data drive. The letter reads, for the storyteller. Because every villain is someone's lost child. Yulin debates whether to open the drive. She's afraid of what she might find, but also curious if it holds unfinished secrets. 4. The encrypted truth. With Kai's help, they unlock the drive. What they find is not poison, but pain. The files are Qiao Ming's personal diaries, recordings of his descent from idealism to madness. In one entry, Qiao, video log, they told me to save lives. Then told me who wasn't worth saving. So I chose no one. Yulin cries. Not for the man, but for the system that created him. 5. Yulin the teacher. Yulin is invited to teach storytelling and healing at a university. She stands before students and speaks openly about fiction, truth, and the courage it takes to tell your own story. Yulin, we write not to change others. We write to remember who we are. Her class becomes the most popular on campus. 6. Family reunions and forgiveness. Kai visits his estranged uncle, Zheng Ruhao, in prison. It's a cold, tense meeting. Kai, you betrayed your blood for power. But I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to say, I'm not like you. He leaves with peace in his heart. Meanwhile, Yulin reconnects with her mother. Their bond, once strained, begins to flourish again. 7. The baby news. One quiet evening, Yulin takes a pregnancy test. It's positive. She laughs. Then cries. Then stares at the stars above her apartment, whispering, Yulin, you're coming into a world that almost forgot how to feel. But we remembered just in time. She tells Kai. He lifts her into his arms, speechless with joy. 8. A global impact. The World Health Council establishes the Beracun Protocol, a legal framework to ban memory-altering and emotion-blocking substances worldwide. The story of Cinta Beracun becomes part of medical ethics education in over 30 countries. A Netflix documentary titled Poisoned Hearts, the real story of Cinta Beracun tops streaming charts. 9. Kai's redemption speech. Kai is invited to speak at the first Global Trauma Summit. He opens his speech with a quiet sentence, "Kai, my name was once written in poison. But someone rewrote it in hope." He shares his journey not as a CEO or hero, but as a son, a lover, and a survivor. His words inspire millions. 10. Cliffhanger ending. As Kai and Yulin prepare the baby's nursery, a visitor arrives at their door, an elderly man with a cane. He holds up a document. "Visitor, I knew your father. There's something neither of you have been told. Something unfinished." Yulin and Kai look at each other, confused, curious, and a little afraid. Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 12, Legacy of the Forgotten. 1. The mysterious visitor. The elderly man introduces himself as Dr. Helan, a retired chemical engineer who once worked with both Kai's father and Yulin's father, before the Beracun trials ever began. He hands over a sealed envelope and says, "Dr. Helan, this was meant for both of you. Your fathers knew what was coming, and they tried to stop it." Inside the envelope, a photo of Kai and Yulin as toddlers, together, a joint patent paper titled Project Violet-Rain, Emotion Repair Serum. 2. A Forgotten Alliance. Dr. Helan explains, before Kiao Ming twisted science into poison, Yulin's and Kai's fathers were working on a cure, an antidote to emotional numbness caused by trauma. It was meant to be the opposite of Beracun. A restorative serum, capable of healing memory, not erasing it. But the board feared the project would reveal too much. So it was buried. Kiao Ming took over. The research was destroyed, or so they thought. 3. Hope in the Rub. Yulin and Kai travel to an old abandoned lab, marked for demolition. It's where Project Violet-Rain was last stored. With Dr. Helan's help, they sneak inside. Dusty files, old glass tubes, and rusted machines await. And then, in a hidden metal drawer, they find it, a locked freezer container labeled V.R.1, for healing use only. It's still frozen, still intact. 4. A new choice. Back at home, Yulin and Kai test the compound with the help of trusted scientists. Results show it works. Project Violet-Rain can regenerate emotional pathways in patients with suppressed feelings and trauma-related memory loss. It's real. It's powerful. It could change the world. Kai, our fathers didn't leave us poison. They left us the cure. 5. The ethical debate. Yulin debates whether to publish the research. If released, it could help millions. Or be misused, just like Beracun. Yulin, the world wasn't ready for emotion to be removed. Is it ready for emotion to be restored? She decides to start small, offering it through licensed clinics with strong regulations. Slowly, carefully. 6. A letter to the baby. Yulin writes a letter to their unborn child. "You were born from pain, but also from truth. You carry two names, one who survived poison, and one who helped cure it." She seals the letter in a journal marked "For you, when you're ready." 7. Global change. Quiet life. As Project Violet-Rain rolls out under medical supervision, global recovery begins. Trauma centers in war zones begin trials. Former Beracun test subjects regain emotions. Memory loss patients begin reconnecting with family. And yet, Kai and Yulin keep life quiet, choosing peace over fame. 8. Xiaoqi's new path. Yulin's former best friend, Xiaoqi, who once betrayed her, is now the editor of a magazine dedicated to ethical science journalism. She writes a heartfelt article titled "Forgiveness in the Time of Poison." 9. A final interview. Yulin gives one last interview. When asked what she regrets, she says, "Yulin, nothing. Every pain led me here. Every wound became ink. And every story gave me back my voice." She ends the interview by reading the final line of her first book, "Love is not the absence of poison. It's the will to survive it, together." 10. Cliffhanger ending. In the last scene, Yulin and Kai walk through a quiet park with their newborn baby. Suddenly, their child laughs, Not just a baby's giggle, but a sound Kai hasn't heard since childhood. Kai, softly, that laugh. It sounds just like. He turns to Yulin, who's already staring, because behind them, at a distance, stands a woman watching silently. She looks oddly familiar. Then she vanishes into the crowd. Was it Kai's mother again? Or someone else? Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 13, The Unfinished Thread. 1. A Face from the Past. After seeing the mysterious woman in the park, Yulin and Kai can't shake the feeling that something is unfinished. She looked like Kai's mother, but older. Different. And yet, familiar. That night, Yulin finds an old photo in the box from Dr. Helan. It shows Lian who is standing beside a woman who looks just like the one in the park. On the back is a name, Li Xuyuan, 1988 trial overseer. 2. Who is Li Xuyuan? Digging into hidden archives, they learn Li Xuyuan was one of the earliest scientists involved in Project Violet Rain. But after the project was shut down, she went missing. Presumed dead. Kai, what if she didn't disappear? What if she went underground to protect the cure? Yulin agrees. They need to find her, especially if Project Violet Rain holds deeper secrets. 3. Following the trail clues lead them to a hidden library in Lijiang, an ancient town in Yan'an province. There, a secret collection of letters written by Li Xuyuan is discovered, encoded and scattered through old medical books. Together, Yulin and Kai crack the code. Each letter describes a fear. Li Xuyuan, letter. The world is not poisoned by science. It's poisoned by power. And power lives in silence. She writes of a second formula, one never tested. Not a cure, but a vaccine for emotional suppression, designed to protect children from future trauma. 4. Ethical dilemma returns. Yulin is shocked. A vaccine that prevents emotional suppression could change generations of trauma. But what if it dulls natural feeling? Yulin, can we really decide what future children feel? Kai, holding their newborn baby, reflects deeply. Kai, maybe we can't decide. But we can give them the choice. 5. The choice of a generation. Yulin decides to document the full story of Project Violet Rain and its potential future. She calls the new book, Cinta Beracun, Chapter 0, The Children of Cure. But she won't publish it alone. She creates a global ethics council, writers, parents, doctors, survivors, to read, vote, and decide whether the vaccine should be researched further. It's no longer just her decision. 6. Healing across generations. Meanwhile, Yulin begins recording video messages for her child. One for every birthday, until they turn 18. If I'm not here by the time you see this, know this, your mother's love survived poison. And so will you. Kai plants a garden at their home. He names each section after the people they lost, and the values they left behind: truth, memory, love, forgiveness. 7. International recognition. Yulin and Kai receive invitations from global peace forums and literary foundations. They're offered medals, awards, but accept few. Instead, they focus on community programs in China, free trauma counseling for children, ethical storytelling classes, small grants for survivor-led projects. Kai, the world doesn't need more heroes. It needs more listeners. 8. A message from the lost. Late one night, Yulin receives a strange email with no sender. It contains only an audio file, the voice of Li Xuyuan. Li's voice, the vaccine lives. But it was never meant to be used. Only remembered. That's what cures pain. Not forgetting, but remembering better. This confirms her theory, Xuyuan is alive. Somewhere. 9. Closure and new beginnings. Kai and Yulin return to the cliff where they once threw the Beracunom's vial into the sea. This time, they leave something else behind, a sealed memory box filled with stories, letters, and a photo of their baby. Yulin, we came from poison. But we're writing from peace now. 10. Cliffhanger ending. Back at home, a letter is waiting in the mailbox. Handwritten. No stamp. No return address. Inside, a single photo of a young girl who looks like Kai and Yulin's daughter. Dated 2045. Note, this isn't your end. It's your legacy. I'll see you both again, sooner than you think. Yulin clutches the photo, stunned. Fade to black. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 14. The future that remembers one. The photo from tomorrow. The mysterious letter, dated 2045, includes a photo of a girl who looks exactly like Kai and Yulin's daughter, but older, around 18. Kai is frozen. Kai, that's our daughter. Grown up. But how? The note suggests a future where their daughter survives, grows, and somehow returns, or reaches back, to them. Was it sent from the future? Is someone watching them? Or is this a warning? Or a gift? 2. Protecting their child. Kai becomes deeply protective. Yulin, meanwhile, feels a strange peace. Yulin, if she's grown in that photo, it means we did something right. They decide to increase security, erase their online footprint, and move to a quieter countryside village under new identities, just to keep their child safe. But before leaving, Yulin buries cure is not just pain. We cure silence. Speak, even if the world trembles. The poison always returns in silence. Inside there's a copy of the full Project Violet Train research file, with instructions for publishing it only when the time is right. They place it in a safety vault under their daughter's name. 4. A quiet life begins. Kai, Yulin, and their baby begin life in a mountain village surrounded by bamboo forests, misty rivers, and peace. Kai opens a small herbal shop, blending traditional healing with modern science. Yulin teaches village children how to read and write. They live quietly. But the world hasn't forgotten them. 5. The world keeps turning in the background. Trauma healing centers named after Yulin begin opening across Southeast Asia. Project Violet Train's medical foundation saves thousands. Global laws tighten against biochemical weaponization. Ethical journalism rises, with more people telling the truth. The world changes, bit by bit. 6. The daughter's curiosity. At 10 years old, their daughter, Lian, begins asking about her past. Lian, Mama, why don't I see pictures of when I was a baby? Yulin gently tells her, because we were too busy surviving. But every hug, every kiss, we remember. Lian grows curious, bright, and fearless. She writes her first story at age 11. It's titled, The Girl in the Lab Who Found the Sky. 7. A hidden message. One night, Lian stumbles upon the old garden in the city while visiting a friend. There, buried under a tree, she finds Yulin's memory capsule. Inside, a flash drive, a book manuscript, a letter addressed, To you, my future. Lian doesn't open it yet. But something awakens inside her. 8. Kai's illness. At 52, Kai begins showing signs of cognitive fatigue, fading memory, slowed responses. Tests reveal mild neural damage from the Beracun X2 strain he once survived. It's not deadly, but irreversible. Yulin wants to begin Project Violet Train therapy on him. But Kai refuses. Kai, I want to remember our story the way it is. Even if it slips from me slowly. She respects his wish. Instead, she writes everything for him, day by day. 9. The legacy launch. On her 18th birthday, Lian makes a decision. She reads every file, watches every video, and writes a message. This is not the story of my parents. This is the story of all of us who chose feeling over forgetting. I choose to carry it forward. She releases the Project Violet Train data to the world, this time not just for healing, but for learning. 10. Cliffhanger ending. After a press event, Lian walks alone along a riverbank. She meets a woman with grey hair and a long coat, watching the water. Woman, you did it. Your parents would be proud. Lian, do I know you? Woman, not yet. But I knew your mother. Her voice saved me. The woman disappears into the fog. Lian turns back toward the light. Fade to black. Threads, delivers emotional closure, and leaves your audience with a powerful message of hope, healing, and legacy. Cinta Beracun, 2025, Part 15, The Bloom After Poison. 1. Lian's Awakening. After releasing the full story of Project Violet Train, Lian becomes a quiet but influential voice in global mental health reform. She does not seek fame, but the world listens. Her writings, titled The Cure We Carried, blend poetry and science. They reach refugee camps, trauma survivors, and classrooms. Lian, opening page. We were born from pain, but we do not belong to it. 2. Yulin's farewell journal. Yulin, now in her late 50s, writes the final entry in the journal she's kept for decades. My daughter became the light I once looked for in the dark. The poison ended with us. What begins now is yours. She seals the journal and gives it to Lian, who hugs her tightly. 3. Kai's memory fades. Kai's condition worsens. Some days he recognizes Yulin. Other days he thinks she's still the young woman writing articles in a tiny apartment. But every time he sees Lian, he smiles. Kai, I don't remember the battles. But I remember love. He dies peacefully one morning, with Yulin holding his hand and Lian reading him a story. 4. A garden in his name. Lian and Yulin build a healing garden at the site of the first lab that tested Beracun X. It becomes a place of reflection and hope. At the entrance, a plaque reads, "Here, poison was planted. But here, flowers bloom." Each flower bed is named after people who fought, loved, and survived. 5. Li Xuyuan returns years later. An elderly woman arrives at the garden. She is Li Xuyuan, alive and quiet all this time. She walks the path, touches the stone named Truth, and places a single letter on Kai's memorial bench. Xuyuan, he understood before any of us. We only catch up when it's too late. 6. A time capsule opened. Lian, now in her 30s, opens a buried time capsule left by her parents. Inside, a music box, Kai's wedding ring, a tiny recording, Yulin singing a lullaby, and a final envelope, in case the world needs us again. It includes a DNA-coded version of Project Violet Rain, secure and encrypted. 7. A new generation. Lian adopts a daughter of her own. She names her, which means moonlight, symbolizing comfort in darkness. She teaches her the same values she inherited: never forget pain, but never live in it, and always tell your story. 8. The final chapter. Yulin passes away in her sleep. A candle burns beside her bed. Her funeral is small, quiet, filled with people whose lives were changed by her words, not because they were loud, but because they were real. Eulogy by Lian. My mother fought poison with paper. She taught me the pen is not just mightier than the sword, it is softer and braver. 9. The world remembers. The Cinta Beracun Foundation grows into a global healing movement. Every year, thousands gather on Remembering Day to read, write, and speak their truths. The word Beracun no longer means poison. Now, in over 60 languages, it is translated as pain faced with love. 10. Final voiceover, narrated by Lian. This is not the story of two people. This is not the story of a drug or a villain. This is the story of choice. Of remembering when it hurts. Of holding hands when you're afraid. We are not the poison. We are the cure. My name is Lian. My parents wrote their love in the ashes of suffering. And now, I write in the light. Fade to white. I budget overview. 1. Total production budget. The estimated total production budget for Cinta Beracun was 320 million yen RMB, approximately $45 million USD. 2. Breakdown by category. Cast salaries, 85 million yen. Zhang Zifeng and Jackson Yi accounted for nearly 30% of this. Location shooting and permits, 60 million yen. Set construction and art design, 50 million yen. Customer labs, monastery interiors, and CGI enhanced bunkers. Post-production, VFX, editing, color grading, 45 million yen. Marketing and promotion, domestic, 35 million yen. Marketing and licensing, international, 20 million yen. Music composition and soundtrack licensing, 10 million yen. Legal, insurance, miscellaneous, 15 million yen. 3. High cost factors. Practical on-location shoots in multiple provinces. High-end cinematography using IMAX-enhanced cameras. Hiring of global post-production teams for realistic memory simulation effects. 2. Release strategy. 1. Initial announcement and hype. The drama was first announced at the Shanghai International Film and TV Expo in 2024, with teasers highlighting its stark emotional tone and ethical themes. 2. Streaming partnership. Cinta Beracun was co-produced by IK and Tencent Video, and premiered exclusively on both platforms. Later syndicated to Netflix and Disney Plus for international audiences with multilingual subtitles. 3. Domestic airing timeline. Aired January 3, 2025, March 14, 2025, total 24 episodes. Weekly drop. 3 episodes per week. Prime 9 p.m. slot with immediate replay on weekends. 4. International release timeline. Subtitled versions launched in 12 languages: English, Spanish, Korean, Japanese, French, Hindi, Bahasa Indonesia, and more. Dubbed versions launched 1 month after original airing. Premiered globally through Netflix on April 10, 2025. 5. Marketing campaigns. Celebrity interviews, behind-the-scenes teasers, emotional theme songs released on major music platforms. Mental health awareness partnerships with NGOs in China, Korea, and the US. 6. Social media and engagement. #Cinta Beracun trended #1 globally during finale week. Fan theories, character psychology breakdowns, and emotional reaction videos flooded platforms like Weibo, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. 3. Global earnings breakdown. 1. Streaming revenue. Domestic streaming platforms, IK plus Tencent, 600 million yen RMB, $85M. Based on per-view earnings, subscriber surges, and ad revenues. Netflix global licensing deal, $35 million USD. Disney Plus international deal, select Asian and Middle East regions, $10 million USD. Total streaming revenue, $130 million USD. 2. Sponsorship and product placement. Integrated but subtle brand placements, smartphones, herbal products, AI lab tech brands. Estimated earnings, 80 million yen, $11 million USD. 3. Merchandise and novel sales. A companion novel, The Poison We Remember, became a bestseller in China and abroad. Collectible notebooks, character-themed calendars, emotion-themed jewelry. Revenue from merchandise and books, $8 million USD. 4. Awards and grants. Received multiple domestic and international drama awards, each with cash grants: Golden Eagle Award for Best Drama, Asian Television Award for Best Screenplay and Lead Actress, UNESCO Grant for Mental Health in Media, $250,000. 4. Total global revenue estimate. Category: Revenue, Streaming, Domestic plus Global, $130 million. Product placement and sponsorship, $11 million. Merchandise and book sales, $8 million. Awards and grants, $0.25 million. Total, $149.25 million. Profit margin after $45 million budget equals over $100 million in global net earnings. V. International impact and legacy. 1. Cultural reach. Universities and NGOs used episodes in psychology, ethics, and media literacy courses. Fans began movements to support trauma survivors inspired by the show's narrative. 2. Cast elevation. Zhang Zifeng won multiple Best Actress awards and became a UNICEF ambassador. Jackson Yee praised for nuanced performance and cast in international dramas post-Cinta. 3. Production studio expansion. The drama's success allowed its creators to fund future ethical sci-fi and medical series under a new banner, Memoryverse Studios. Why? Conclusion. Cinta Beracun proved that emotionally driven, high-quality, ethically grounded storytelling can be both commercially successful and socially impactful. With modest but precise production spending and a sharp, global first release strategy, it exceeded expectations and became a cultural milestone in 2025's drama landscape. Its financial success not only recouped its budget more than 3 times over but also left a lasting mark on global viewers and sparked meaningful conversations about memory, emotion, and healing. Filming locations breakdown for Cinta Beracun 2025 Chinese drama. 1. Shanghai, urban despair and truth-seeking. Most of the early episodes of Cinta Beracun are filmed in various districts of Shanghai, China. The city is used to show Yulin's apartment, filmed in Xuyui district. The Kaibao Pharma headquarters, filmed in Luzhui Financial Center. Several underground labs, alleyways, and press rooms, using converted warehouse sets. Purpose in story: Shanghai's fast-paced, cold, and glass-heavy urbanity symbolizes the emotional numbness that haunts the protagonists. The sleek corporate buildings contrast with the raw human emotions Yulin tries to uncover. Notable shots: night shots of the Bund skyline with digital billboards, symbolizing the overwhelming nature of modernity and hidden corruption. Rooftop scenes showing Yulin alone, gazing into the distance as the city lights flicker like chemical sparks. 2. Lijiang Old Town, Yunnan Province, Secrets of the Past. Lijiang, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, serves as the setting for flashbacks and discoveries tied to Project Violet Rain. Ancient wooden homes, cobblestone alleys, and mountain streams create an aura of forgotten time. Purpose in story: this is where Kai and Yulin discover Li Xuan's hidden letters and learn more about their father's original scientific goals. Notable scenes: a library sequence filmed in the Mu family mansion, where coded books are discovered. A poetic walk through a bamboo grove with red lanterns fluttering, symbolizing truths hidden in silence. 3. Mount Imai, Sichuan, Spiritual Awakening. Mount Imai, one of China's 4 sacred Buddhist mountains, is where the monastery is located that houses Kai's mother, Lianhua. Purpose in story: the monastery scenes explore themes of forgotten memory, spiritual healing, and reconnection with lost love. Filming highlights: the Golden Summit Temple is used for meditation scenes with the abbess. Cloudy drone shots echo the fogginess of Lianhua's mind and memory loss, a key moment where Yulin rings a bell to awaken lost souls. 4. Zhujiajiao Water Town, childhood memory triggers. A short flashback sequence takes place in the canal-lined water town of Zhujiajiao. Here, a young Kai remembers walking with his mother. Visually aesthetic: bridges, small boats, paper lanterns. Narrative impact: these scenes subtly hint at Kai's suppressed feelings and hint at his deeper emotional past. 5. Wuhan, underground labs and scientific dystopia. Some interior sets, including the Beracun X and Beracun OMS labs, were filmed in converted medical and industrial complexes in Wuhan. Purpose in story: these represent the darker side of science, a place of experimentation, silence, and irreversible decisions. Production detail: dim blue lighting, long corridors, rooms with whiteboards covered in equations. 6. Wingxi rice terraces, healing and simplicity. Used in later episodes, the Longjai rice terraces in Wingxi provide the backdrop for Kai and Yulin's retreat from public life. Emotional symbolism: layered growth, simplicity, natural beauty. Scenes: a montage of Kai planting herbs and flowers, Yulin teaching local children beneath banyan trees, their daughter running freely among the paddies. 7. Gansu Desert, isolation and conflict. The climactic confrontation with Kiao Ming takes place in a hidden facility deep within the Gansu Desert region. Setting characteristics: dry, colorless terrain, wind-swept bunkers and steel towers, empty roads stretching into infinity. Symbolism: the emptiness of power and the cost of erasing emotion. 8. Beijing, legacy and justice. In the final arc, Beijing serves as the political backdrop for tribunals, press conferences, and law reforms. Government buildings, cultural landmarks, and wide avenues provide grandeur. Key locations: National Library, used for press scenes. Great Hall of the People, used with CGI for tribunal sequences. Thematic cues: justice, transparency, and reclaiming history. 9. Huangshan Mountains, final reflections. The emotional finale takes place atop the misty peaks of Huangshan, symbolizing closure and ascension. Final scenes: Kai's memory fading as he watches the sunrise. Yulin writing her last journal entry among white clouds. Their daughter scattering flower petals from a stone path. 10. Soundstages and CGI enhancements. Though many scenes are shot on location, several critical sequences were filmed on soundstages in Hengdian World Studios. Memory wipe simulations, emotion-triggering test rooms, dream sequences involving multiple timelines. CGI was used to digitally extend cityscapes, visualize the effects of Beracun, depict the emotion vaccine interface, symbolism in geography. Each filming location in Cinta Beracun plays a thematic role. Cities equals pressure, corruption, forgetting. Mountains equals awakening, memory, clarity. Villages equals healing, community, peace. Deserts equals power, control, isolation. These 10 locations not only offered visual splendor but served as emotional and narrative anchors for the characters' journeys. The contrast between modernity and nature, between science and soul, is one of the hallmarks of Cinta Beracun's powerful visual identity. Character list explanation for Cinta Beracun, 2025 Chinese drama. 1. Yulin, female lead, portrayed by Jiang Zifeng. Role: investigative journalist, survivor, truth seeker. Yulin is the heart and soul of Cinta Beracun. A determined and emotionally intuitive journalist, she begins the story uncovering corruption in a pharmaceutical company, only to find herself drawn into a personal and national conspiracy. Her motivations are rooted in a childhood shaped by trauma, and she carries an emotional burden that fuels her empathy for others. Her journey is one of emotional awakening. She grows from a lone truth seeker into a brave leader of a global healing movement. Yulin represents the power of storytelling and the courage to feel pain rather than suppress it. She is both a survivor and a healer, and her love for Kai becomes a quiet but powerful revolution. 2. Kai, male lead, portrayed by Jackson Yi. Role: heir to Kai Biopharma, former test subject, redemption seeker. Kai begins as a cold, distant figure, the son of a disgraced pharmaceutical founder. He slowly reveals himself to be a victim of the same corruption his family once benefited from. His emotional suppression is not a personality trait but the result of a failed experimental drug. Kai's arc is about reclaiming humanity. He evolves from a silent sufferer into a compassionate fighter. His relationship with Yulin reawakens his emotions, while his connection to his mother and legacy drives his pursuit of justice. He is the representation of inherited trauma, and the hope that even those born in darkness can walk into light. 3. Dr. Qiaoming, main antagonist, portrayed by Wang Ziwen. Role: chief scientist, architect of Beracun trials. Dr. Qiaoming is the chilling villain of the story, a scientist who loses his morality in pursuit of control. He sees emotions as weaknesses and designs the Beracun compounds to chemically remove guilt, fear, and grief from human behavior. More than a villain, Qiao is a symbol of scientific ambition without ethics. His downfall is not through violence, but through the very emotions he tried to suppress. His interactions with Yulin show his inability to feel remorse, which ultimately isolates and destroys him. 4. Lianhua, Kai's mother, portrayed by Kara Wei. Role: survivor, amnesiac, symbol of memory restoration. Lianhua was thought to be dead for decades. In truth, she was a victim of early Beracun trials, her memory chemically erased. She lives in a monastery under another identity until Kai and Yulin find her. Her story is a quiet, tragic thread woven through the drama. She symbolizes forgotten victims and the importance of memory in shaping identity. Her gradual return to her son and her role in helping others heal is a testament to the strength of maternal love and recovery. 5. Jiang, journalist ally, portrayed by Hu Xiangxu. Role: investigative reporter, whistleblower, loyal friend. Jiang starts as a rival journalist but becomes a critical ally to Yulin and Kai. Bold, curious, and brave, Jiang represents the voice of truth in public discourse. He uncovers key pieces of evidence that help dismantle Qiaoming's network. Jiang's loyalty is unwavering, and he provides the needed comic relief and energy in some of the show's darkest moments. He is the modern-day crusader for truth. 6. Xiao Qi, Yulin's former friend, portrayed by Zhu Yutong. Role: betrayer turned ally, Voice of regret. Xiao Qi begins as Yulin's best friend but is later revealed to have betrayed her under pressure from powerful forces. Her arc is one of redemption and self-forgiveness. Initially consumed by guilt, she later plays a key role in exposing the final stage of the Beracun trials. Xiao Qi's journey reflects the moral gray zones in society, how fear can make people accomplices, and how courage can help them come back to the light. 7. Dr. Xu Wei, former scientist, portrayed by Liu Mintao. Role: defector, informant, redemption scientist. Once a researcher under Qiao Ming, Dr. Xu defects after realizing the damage caused by Beracun. She becomes a vital source of information and helps tailor the antidote that saves Kai's life. Dr. Xu is the symbol of regret transformed into action. Her internal conflict and eventual bravery underscore the idea that redemption is always possible. 8. Abbess Lian, monastery head, portrayed by Wu Yan's. Role: spiritual guide, keeper of the lost. Abbess Lian runs the monastery where Lian Hua is found. Gentle yet wise, she provides spiritual insight that counters the cold logic of Qiao Ming's science. She encourages Yulin to trust emotion and memory. She represents balance, the quiet voice that speaks volumes. Her role is small but deeply symbolic, a reminder that healing isn't just medical, it's spiritual. 9. Zheng Ruhao, Kai's uncle, portrayed by Liu Yijun. Role: corporate executive, silent villain. Ruhao is Kai's uncle and one of the original backers of the Beracun project. Unlike Qiao Ming, he does not create evil, he funds it. His belief in control and power represents the corporate machinery that profits from human pain. His confrontation with Kai in prison is a turning point, showing the stark contrast between inherited power and chosen morality. 10. Lian, Kai and Yulin's daughter, portrayed by various child and adult actors. Role: legacy bearer, symbol of hope. Lian is born after the climax of the main story and becomes the torchbearer of her parents' fight. Smart, kind, and brave, she grows up discovering the hidden truths of her family and chooses to share them with the world. She symbolizes a future rebuilt from the pain of the past. Her name, meaning lotus or graceful integrity, reflects rebirth and beauty after suffering. 11. Dr. Helan, forgotten ally, portrayed by Nidong. Role: elder scientist, keeper of truth, mentor. Dr. Helan was a former collaborator of Kai and Yulin's fathers. He resurfaces to reveal the suppressed history of Project Violet Train. Calm, intellectual, and deeply moral, he guides the protagonists through their final choices. He represents the conscience of science, reminding the world that knowledge without compassion is deadly. 12. Li Xuyuan, vanished scientist, portrayed by Joan Chen. Role: originator of the cure, hidden witness. Li Xuyuan was once a key figure in ethical medical research before disappearing during the Beracun trials. She resurfaces in the story's final arc, revealing the existence of a vaccine that protects future generations from emotional suppression. Her presence is quiet but powerful. She is a metaphor for wisdom hidden beneath fear, and for the idea that not all heroes need a spotlight. 13. Lian's adopted daughter. Role: symbolic heir of the new generation. Though a minor character introduced at the very end, embodies the continuing legacy of healing. Raised by Lian, she represents a future free from Beracun's shadow. Each character in Cinta Beracun plays a unique role in weaving together themes of emotional truth, healing, and redemption. Together, they transform a story about poison into a story about the human will to remember, to recover, and to love again.
कोई नहीं खैर कम वर्ष टेंशन ना ले घटता नहीं मैं कोई रोला हो गया है ना
कैसे दा
कश्मीर में ना
हाँ पानी कोई नहीं
पर नलके तो भरना उस्ताद
अगर जा तो खोल दो
मोटर कोई नहीं चलती नलके तो भरना नलके तो भरना
ये प्लेट टूट गई है अब वो कर ऐ तो घट्टा देती है लास्ट
सही
मोड़ के दिया कर ली बोले के रग्गा लग दे चार पीछे लग दे ये बंदा पहले बच्चे आंदा ना उसको गे लगते भी नहीं चावल पकाया ना उसने दोस्त थोड़ा प्यार है बोतल पाग दोस्त
नहीं महावत now balu gaite balu
चल मैं उन्हीं बांध की थी नहीं चलती मैं उठ जाए जब मैं नहीं खून धो के लेके पड़ जब मैं कोई नहीं देखे पानी
लाई कोई मान पड़ी है
बैटरी कौन ट्रैक्टर दी तुझे दी बंद कर रही हूँ Come back, guys. इधर फूल वगैरह लगाए थे लेकिन अच्छे वाले फूल नहीं हुए। ठीक है, बुरे भी नहीं, प्यार है। उधर कुछ नहीं लग रहा है, उधर भी लगा इंशाल्लाह। ये गैराज है, न्यू गाड़ी, ये बाइक की फिगर, बाकी सारा कबाड़ का सामान पड़ा है। इस कमरे में भी सामान पड़ा है, बाहर वाला। बाकी भी हम चलते हैं कार। टाटा बाय बाय। यहाँ पर भी ये फूल लगाए हुए हैं। ये रहा इसके बीच मक्खी का। टाइम पास जिससे खाते भी थे पहले जैसा कि अभी तक हमारी वीडियो कंप्लीट नहीं हुई, 8 मिनट की हुई है। कंप्लीट करना है, दोबारा चलते हैं बाहर। बाहर ही कुछ मिलता है घर में तो और खोते रहते हैं। तो कुछ नहीं दिखाने के लिए भी हम चलते हैं, लेकिन दूसरे हाथ में ही जाम। ये सारा सामान खराब हो रहा है बारिश की वजह से, लेकिन कोई बात नहीं। लेकिन मैं शॉर्टकट तरीका यहाँ से बनाऊंगा। चले एक सगेट लगाया हुआ है। ये कमरा सब बना है, इसमें कुछ नहीं है, खाली है। मोटर लगी है यहाँ पे, ये पौधे वगैरह लगे हुए हैं, ये चार पे पड़ी है। ये जग टूट गया है दरख्त। ये क्या है? ये मर्दों का पौधा है, ये मर्दों का है। और दिखाने के लिए कुछ नहीं है। और ये आम का पौधा है, इसको तने में डाली कहते हैं, उर्दू में पता नहीं क्या कहते हैं। ये अनार का पौधा, इसको अनार लगे भी हुए हैं। ये देखें, छोटे छोटे उसके बाद ये है किन्नू का पौधा, इसको भी तो कुछ नहीं लगा हुआ। ये किन्नू सर्दियों का फल है। फिर भी छोटा सा जगह है जहाँ से हम गुजर सकते हैं। भाई पीछे भी सारी जगह अपनी है। यहाँ पर ये क्या कहते हैं इसको, ड्रिल। ये ड्रिल पड़ी है क्योंकि इससे पास लगती है। रैपर पड़ी है और एक ट्रैक्टर का जंगला। रैपर से कहते हैं जिससे गंदम काटी जाती है। हम चलते हैं। बाय वो I never do it. Tell me what's for the one. Bodyguard. ये अपने गाँव दे रही है। ये अपने मजा दे रही है। क्या करो? टिड्डे ज्यादा नहीं लग गए। ठंडे पुट्टा ढेर नहीं लग गई हैं के बने बारिश बारिश ला दे गई ये लगाई थी पुट्टा लेकिन कुछ ठंडा लगे नहीं बल्कि लगे कौन सो गए वेला नहीं लगते झींगे इनको लगे झींगे पता नहीं क्यों लगे ये तो पता नहीं ये दिल दिलों के बाद आती यहाँ पर क्या लगाया हुआ है यहाँ पर थी ये शायद बनी भिंडी है भिंडी तकरीबन खत्म हो चुकी है इसमें कोई भिंडी नहीं लगी इसलिए ये मुझे नहीं पता। कद्दू में कुछ है, काफी बड़े बड़े हो गए हैं जो पहले, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता कि सोच लगा होगा। मुश्किल है। और साइड में ढीलने के बाद ये हाथ सारा पट्टे साथ वाले 11वें पट्टे, आगे पट्टे, उधर भी सारे ये पट्टे लगे हैं। देखने बोल रही है, कब बच्ची हंसी होंगी बोल रही है, यहाँ घूम रहा हूँ। ये आगे भी लगी हुई, भी दिखाते हैं आपको। ये भी लगी, उसमें क्या लगा ये मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन लगी हुई बड़ा मुझे। लेकिन क्या करना है ये तो पता है। यहाँ पर बैठ जाते हैं और कैमरे को भीतर करके रिकॉर्ड करते रहते हैं। क्लासेस जल्द स्टार्ट होने वाली हैं दोबारा। लेट्स सी क्या बनता है। दफा पहली दफा पास हो चुके हैं। आप चेक करो। ऐसा भी देखने को मिलेगा नहीं। ऐसा भी मिलेगा वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ गाँव की जो भी आपको मिलेगा वो वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए मेरे पास और कुछ नहीं है सवाए बाहर बैठ के बातें करने और घूमने का। कलर वगैरह यहाँ पर है नहीं। वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर लीजिए। पर चले कोई बात नहीं। करो ये क्यों ओए क्यों है? मैं तो पता नहीं क्यों कैसे निकल आई। बच गया। इनके विचार रखना पड़ता है। जो भी मानना ही पड़ता है। ये पर काम करवाना होता है। और अभी स्लीप काट रहा है, इसको पता मैंने कल जाना है कहीं काम करके जाना है। इसलिए अभी अपना काम अभी खत्म कर रहा है ताकि कल ये जा सके। वरना इस टाइम घर चले जाता है। वो भी नहीं इधर आज, इसलिए भी इधर है। घर चला गया तो बुनू कहना किधर गया।